All right, so today, normally I come on here and I don't really have a plan. I just be going off the top. Today is really off the top. I don't even have an intro today just because that's where we're at. So most of you probably already know I am an aspiring full-time content creator, but basically I've gone all in to it. So I used to be a fitness professional. I shouldn't say used to be, like I'll still train someone if they really, really need it, but like I'm not really putting myself out there as that anymore. And I actually currently don't have any clients. I made that decision just because I felt like I kept using fitness as a crutch for a really long time. And I was like, yeah, I know that I've been called to do this specifically. And so I need to just do this, right? But man, it's taken a lot of faith, but it's also just, I was just talking to my brother about this, and it's so funny, like every situation, there's always a trade-off, right? So I think there was a point when I was getting really frustrated with fitness just because I felt like it was like taking up all my time and I couldn't get to, you know, what I knew I was supposed to be doing, which was this. And it just became like one of those things where I was like, yeah, I'm just not doing it no more. You know what I mean? So I can actually do this. And so I basically traded that frustration for a new type of frustration, which is now I'm like, okay, how am I like making my income, you know? Because we haven't really grown yet. And, you know, like I've been pitching brands for different things, like UGC content, whatever, but all I can say is that it feels really rough out here. But that's just giving you some background because you may have never seen me before. And if you have seen me, but you didn't know this background, now you have like a little bit of background, and we'll go deeper into the background another time. Hopefully next month, because I got some goals that I want to share with you. But the reason for me being here to talk in this video is because I messed up. And in the grand scheme of life, it's literally not even that serious, right? But it's just when you start thinking about your own situation and feeling like it's a dire, sorry, my phone keeps vibrating. Feeling like it's a dire situation that it starts to feel like it's the end of the world. So I was just checking to see if my hand was actually, I feel like it kind of was. So basically I was invited to this event. And it was like an influencer event. So sometimes brands will like launch something or whatever, and they'll have an event to sort of like promote whatever it is that they're launching. And they'll invite influencers to, you know, take pictures, basically like hype it up, you know what I'm saying? Post on their page, get other people curious, basically get the word out, right? And so I got that invite. I'm sure they found me on Instagram because that's kind of where I've grown like my largest community, but that's a whole discussion for another day, which is kind of what gave me the little push to say like, all right, I'm leaving fitness behind. I'm going straight into content creation, because I was like, okay, I have somewhat of an audience that I can probably finagle, or at least, you know, I've done work with some brands and stuff, so I can use that to like pitch to other brands, you know, while I'm waiting to really grow what is my main community here with you. So anyway, back to the story. I messed up. How did I mess up? I thought that the event was tomorrow. What's crazy is they've been sent me the invite since like May 11th, right? Obviously locked off my calendar for it. It was May 24th. And so up until literally probably Monday, I understood it was Wednesday. And for whatever reason, on Monday, when they sent us the reminder, I guess in my mind, I locked it in as Thursday. And so when planning out my week in terms of like different tasks that I had to do, today was actually supposed to be the day where I was going to plan out my vlog for tomorrow, because I thought tomorrow was the event. And so my whole idea was like, okay, I'm gonna vlog the whole day and just like take you through that with me, right? Like take you with me through that process, because the whole goal with that event for me was to basically make connections I didn't know who I was gonna find there. But I was like, okay, let me make connections at the very least with people who worked at the brand, so that, you know, I could be top of mind for any brand deals or just any opportunities, right? I'm sitting here, my brother happens to be in the city for work, and he like popped up and just came to visit, which I needed because today already started pretty difficult. Like, if I'm honest, I've just been having like a really hard time. I have one rule with like all of this stuff, content creation stuff. I do not believe in crying on screen. I don't know. I just don't believe in it. I don't know why, because the whole point of this is to share moments like these so that, you know, it's not always like this glamorous thing, or like following your dreams is all, like, just so you know that following your dreams, like, as worth it as it is, it also comes with like a lot. You know what I'm saying? Like, going after your dreams, it really comes with a lot. Like, you're trading one thing for the other. And like, what I'm learning is really the process is learning how to like just stay calm, like stay, I don't even know what the word is, really tapped in, like really stay connected with God. That's why it's like, that's why it's so important. That's why I talk about God so much. Like, it's not even because I'm out here trying to be like a Christian creator or whatever the case might be. I don't care about any of that stuff. It's just when you're in this process of going after your dreams, if you don't have a connection with something greater than yourself, something that, or like really the greatness that is in you, that makes you what you are, you're gonna have a very hard time. Like a very hard time, you know? And like, yes, I know I'm saying I'm having a hard time, but then I'm always talking about God, blah, blah, blah. It's not to say that it's not to say that you'll be immune from like having a hard time, but you know, it's like a system. It provides you a way to like keep moving through and continue on, because at the end of the day, whether you're having a hard time or not, the show must go on. Right? So anyway, I have been having a hard time in general, just because, you know, just trying to manage everything, trying to manage my mental state, my spiritual state, my emotional state, and then also like trying to get to this bag, like and it's not even like I'm like, oh, I'm already making this much and I'm trying to get to this, like, you know, like a fun adventure. It's like, nah, bro, like I'm really out here trying to just like get to the next day. And like, I've only gotten this far by the grace of God. And so even just saying that, I'm like, okay, cool. Just lean into that. You know what I'm saying? Like, if you made it to today, then most likely you'll make it to tomorrow by the grace of God, right? Unless you weren't supposed to. But yeah, the reason why I came here is because I just had like this frustrating conversation. So like I said, my brother, wow, what a tangent. Anyway, the whole point of this was for you to get inside my mind, so you can see how crazy it really is. Sorry, I keep looking back here because I put myself on a timer so that I wouldn't ramble on and on, because I'm not even gonna edit this. I'm just gonna drop it on the page because somebody needs to see it. So cool. Like I said, my brother had come to visit today because he's been in the city, and we're chilling, we're talking, you know, venting and just being grateful for each other's company. My brother's literally my best friend. So, and then I get a little reminder on my watch, talk about 30 minutes till XYZ event. And I'm like, wait a minute, what? You mean tomorrow, right? Because you know, sometimes you'll put things in your calendar and it will remind you the day before. But I'm looking and it's like, wait, no, in 30 minutes. And I'm like, no, that can't be possible. It's tomorrow. Like when I tell you, I literally did my hair on Sunday. Because like I said, it wasn't until Monday that for whatever reason, something in my brain just switched and I had it in my mind that it was Thursday. But all before Monday, so including Sunday when I was doing my hair, I understood that it was Wednesday. So I literally did my hair on Sunday to make sure that it would be dry in time for Wednesday, right? Because my hair is pretty long, it's thick, whatever. It takes a while to dry when I wash and twist it. And I usually just let it air dry. I don't know what happened on Monday that made me think it was Thursday. I don't know, maybe something's supposed to happen on Thursday. I don't know. All I know is that, you know, I'm realizing my brother's like, dang, he's like, all right, well, how far is it? I'm like, honestly, it's not even that far, right? It's just that I wasn't prepared. I had a whole plan for it, and I just didn't want to show up there like just not together. You know what I'm saying? Not only that, but I have therapy at 5:30, which is in literally like, I don't know, 15, 16, whatever, 18 minutes, which was actually supposed to be yesterday. But like the schedule got messed up, I guess. So like my time slot wasn't put in. So then we rescheduled it, and she was like, oh, do you have tomorrow at 5:30? I'm like, sure, because I'm thinking that the event is on Thursday. So now I'm looking, the event is supposed to be from 4 to 6. I'm like, yo, I have therapy at 5:30 anyway. Even if I was to now get ready to go, I would literally get there and have to come back. So my brother was like, all right, well, you know, it's whatever. It's probably not that big of a deal, you know, like, and I was like, maybe I can just email her. He's like, yeah, definitely just email, you know, the person that sent you the invite and, you know, call it a day, explain the situation. He's like, a lot of times we catastrophize things when it ends up not even being that deep. And so I was like, okay, which made me feel better. And then I went on a little walk with my brother because he had to go to a meeting. So I basically walked him to the meeting and I was coming back. Call my mom, and don't get me wrong, I love my parents, I love my mom, but you know, when you grow up as an immigrant child and when you grow up as an immigrant child, it's like every little thing matters, because like we ain't come for money, period. So I think like from a kid, I just kind of internalized like, okay, like I gotta make something happen so that we could be good, you know? Cause like I really seen like my parents struggle and like do a lot just to make things happen, and it and I think like my one of my biggest dreams was like, okay, I'm gonna like make it in the world, all right, because that's the plane that we're living on. I'm breaking my rule right now, so that like, you know, they can at least enjoy like some part of their lives. And like just for me too, because like I didn't want to have those same struggles, you know? And like technically speaking, like I don't, you know what I'm saying? I don't have the same struggles that my parents had. Like, wow, I can't believe I'm doing this. I feel stupid, but it's whatever. Oh my God. Okay. Just making sure that, that the mic is still on, because I didn't even charge it and I used it yesterday. That's how like impromptu this is, but I was just like, nah, this is a moment that needs to be recorded, because who knows, maybe in a month, 2 months, 3 months, we'll look back at this and just be laughing, because like it won't even be an issue, and like we'll see how irrelevant this event was. But yeah. So anyway, I guess the point of me saying that is like a big driving force is like my family. That's all I really feel like I have in this world. So, call my mom and I'm explaining to her, and it just becomes a whole thing. She's like, oh, like, she's like, but you told me it was Wednesday. They were here this weekend. And I'm like, yeah, I know, I told you that, but like I said, I don't know what happened. It's like Monday, somehow in my brain, it like got mixed up that it was Thursday. And she goes, oh, like, this is what I'm saying. I feel like you're like blocked or something. Like, I feel like something is like, something ain't right. Like, you know, whatever. And I think essentially she's thinking like, oh, like, you know, you're being attacked spiritually or something. And I'm like, well, you know, I always try to think positive, like as best as I can. You know what I mean? Like, we're human. Like, you're gonna have a range of thoughts and emotions and all of that. But I think as long as you can be as mindful as you can to like bring it back to the positive, you know, you're doing good. I mean, you're doing good regardless, whatever. But I think you can make life easier on you the more that you can like pull yourself out of the negative, because things already can kind of be difficult, right? So why add to that fire? So anyway, I'm like, yeah, you know, like I just got mixed up or whatever. She's like, oh, this is why you're blocked. And I'm like, well, you know, I don't know if it's that necessarily. Like, maybe it's that. Maybe I wasn't even supposed to go today. Maybe I wasn't meant to go today. Maybe like therapy was more important for me, or whatever the case might be. And so I'm explaining to her, and I'm just like, dang. And she's like, no, like she was like, yeah. And the thing is, she kept going on with the whole you're blocked thing. She's like, you probably were gonna get an opportunity there, and of course, like this happens. Now I'm like, Lord, I had just made peace with this, which it's my fault. I shouldn't have called her and started having this conversation. I didn't need to tell her that I missed it or whatever. But the point is, like, it would have come up anyway because she already knew that it was happening. So she would have been like, oh, how was it? And I would have been like, how was what? Or, you know. So, but I do think it probably would have been less hectic had I just not said anything today. After I had already made peace with it, my brother like helped me to, you know, find the silver lining with it. And so I'm like, you know, I guess, but like, it is what it is, you know? And she's like, but you told me it was Wednesday. You told me it was Wednesday. And I'm like, bro, I get that. Like, yeah, I know. And I could have sworn it was Thursday. So anyway, that was basically the story. It got real heated. I ended up hanging up on her because I was so upset. I was literally in the street walking home and like screaming and crying. And like while I was walking, I just felt so much like, I don't want to call it rage, but just so like, it was like the culmination of like what I've been feeling. And so when I say that, like I've really been struggling lately, it's that it's like I just feel like how much longer of this, you know? And I'm like, okay, it's up to me. So I'm like, okay, I'm trying to like, you know, apply all these things, law of attraction, like prayer, like just staying locked in, like staying focused. And there's just no timestamp on it, you know? And my brother was like, you know, we were talking and he was like, and I was explaining to him, I'm like, the thing is, I really love this. Like, I'm really happy with what I'm doing. Like, I love the process of it. This is even the final product. This is just like, you know, this is the process and I'm enjoying it. Like every aspect of it, even if all these videos suck, like I like love it. And there's not that many things I could say that I really like doing, you know what I'm saying? Like, I think that's why it was like so hard for me growing up, like going to college and all of that, because I really didn't know. Like I was like, yeah, all this stuff that's like out here to do, I don't really like none of it. Anyway, yeah, I just felt like the culmination of the frustration because I feel like everything that I'm doing, of course, is for me. My parents aren't always going to be here, but I'm also just like, I'm doing it for them. So, you know, like to be on the phone with her and then for her to like be so like upset, like, how could you make that mistake? Like, what's wrong with you? Know what I mean? And I know that it wasn't like coming from like a bad place or whatever. Like, it's not even, you know, when I tell you that I have like some really supportive parents, like my parents are immigrants. Immigrants they like, what is social media? What are you talking about? Go get a job, like go to school to be a doctor. Like, what are you talking about? Like, what do you mean you're gonna make videos and like take care of yourself? What? You need a 401k. So like, you know, I'm like really blessed to have my parents like really believe in me and like push me, you know, even if like there's only so much they can do, you know what I'm saying? Because like I said, like, we don't come from money. I don't have a situation where I'm like, oh yeah, I'm just like out here free and I don't have to think about money or nothing. Like, that's not the case. But I think it's also that like what's funny is like, I'm like, oh, I'm trying to take care of you. And like, they don't even care about that. They just like, for me, they're like for her sanity and like for the fact that they've seen me work for so hard for so long. Like, it's been years doing this, which is why I really like let fitness go, because I was like, if I keep trying to do two things, like I'm just not built like that. Like, I'm not that type of person, or I haven't found myself to be that type of person, especially when I'm running a one-woman show. Like, I don't have a team. It's me, period. So, anyway, I know the place that she was coming from was more so like, you know, she wants it for me just as bad as I want it. You know what I'm saying? So she's like, this was so big. Like, it's almost like she kind of felt the same crazy feeling I felt when I got the notification to say that the event was today and not tomorrow. Right. But in the moment, I was just like, that's not what I need to hear right now. Because I'm already hard on myself as it is. That's the thing. Like, I don't be needing, like, when people want to support, I don't need nobody to be hard on me. I do a good enough job at that on my own. In fact, I'm like trying to work on not being like that, because it really be detrimental, like in so many ways. And it will actually stop you from taking action, at least for me, the way that I'm built. I'm not a revenge person. You know, people be like, oh, I'm gonna do this to prove this to X, Y. I don't care to prove anything to anybody, period. Except for, I guess, myself maybe, but and not even, like, I know what I can do. I know what I'm here for. I know all of that. That's not even a question of that. It's just literally, like, it comes down to, I just want to be able to pay my bills. I just want to be able to pay my rent. That's it. Like, I just want to be able to exist on this plane, on this, like, plane of human existence, like the 3D, whatever you want to call it, this plane of the world, with ease and freedom. And, like, honestly, I don't know how you can do that without money. Because it's like a survival question. It's a question of survival. You know what I'm saying? Like, and it brings me back to the other point that I was making. I was telling my brother that I love this so much and that I'm enjoying it so much and that I love the process, even when it's like, even if it's only two of y'all that's here. Like, I rock with both of y'all. I'm like grateful that y'all rock with me and that y'all see me. You know what I'm saying? Like, that doesn't even matter. Because I know that, like, the rest of our family, the rest of our community will, like, we're going to find each other, and we'll meet here, and we'll meet in other places too, but this will be one of our meeting places. That's the whole point of this channel. That's the whole point of this channel, because, like, you know, I want to see the people in my community, the people that are like me, that we share similar attributes. Like, we always felt like the outsider. We always just felt like these things don't really fit me, and I have this very specific dream, and whatever the case might be. This channel is for us, because a lot of times we don't see the examples of people, like, really starting from, like, the ground and, like, building it. You know what I'm saying? Like, pulling that dream out of thin air and, like, making it come to reality, bringing it to fruition. And so I remember, like, wishing that I had seen certain things, and I feel like if I had, like, it might have made me start earlier or something. So that's really why I'm here. All over the place, fucking breaking my rules. And because I just feel like maybe you needed to see this, you know what I'm saying, to know that you're not alone in it. That's really what it comes down to know that you're not alone in it. This is just part of the process. So, yeah. So, yeah. I feel like I still didn't finish the point that I was gonna make. Oh, there's 32 seconds left. I guess the last point that I was making was what my brother was saying about, like, at least you enjoy the process. And I was like, yeah, like, this is the first time that I've really enjoyed the process, even with the stress of, like, everything that comes with it. But I think the fact that like this whole survival piece is still such a big thing, it like sometimes it like encroaches on how much I'm enjoying it, right? Like that energy, like being in that flow state, that feeling, like it's like I can feel the freedom when I'm in that state, but it's like then I'm like, oh, there we go, cutting me off. Anyway, like I was saying, then it's like, okay, but what am I eating today? Am I gonna be able to get on the train? Luckily, I haven't had to get on the train, so I haven't had to worry about that. But yeah. Anyway, I'm signing off now. I guess this was a diary entry. I don't know what this was, but I just knew that this needed to be documented. So we're documenting the journey of going from zero to hero, which I'm also, part of why I didn't do the intro is because I'm going to change that intro because I think it's not good to say that you're at zero, you know? Or maybe, I don't know. I'm going to have to think about it. We'll see. The next few videos, you'll probably see that intro though, because yeah, there's a lot of videos on the docket that are coming out. And there is more to discuss, a lot more to discuss, but I didn't want to miss this moment. And yeah, I'm just grateful that you're here. Because at least I know I'm not alone in it. And if you're here, now you know that you're not alone in it. So, yeah. Okay, I'm gonna go to therapy. This was like a pregame to therapy though, Loki. That's good. At least I won't cry in her face. All right, I'm out.